So if you are been out commuting, if you are on the signal threads, thank you for what you're doing. Keep it up. This is going to be a long fight. Be careful. These people will hurt you. Be careful. Number two, we need to create the material conditions where our neighbors can survive this assault, which means the Maine Solidarity Fund. It means calling 544-9899 when you see ICE to verify them. It means joining the school watch. If you are a nurse or a teacher or a worker, it means hardening your workplace so that ICE cannot get in. If you have neighbors, make sure you know their names and that when ICE comes, you defend them. So we have to create the material conditions for our neighbors to be safe while this fight goes on. Those are the first key steps. The third step is that we need to create the political conditions in this state where the governor declares a state of emergency to get ICE out of our state. Does anybody here believe that Janet Mills wants to create a state of emergency to kick ICE out of our state? So she has said the right thing. We have the right to peacefully protest. But if we want her to do the right thing, we are going to have to be creative. We have to create massive civil disobedience in this state. For every person they detain, we need to have 10 or 50 people ready to be arrested to create non-violent civil disobedience. Just like they did in Birmingham in 1963, we need to fill the jails with our own bodies to slow down this machine. If you want to get by neighbors, you have to come through us. Now, how do we do that? We need plans. We can't just run through the streets and jump in front of these people because they're dangerous. You need to join an organization, to get connected, to be organized. And we will come back in the coming days with plans about how we are going to stop the machine in an organized, civil disobedient, nonviolent way that will create the political conditions where our leaders who are saying the right things will have to do the right things. We have to make the leaders follow us. Solidarity.
Yeah, folks, I think I thought it would be too cold out here for you tonight. Yeah, I see a few hundred people out here and say otherwise. We're going to continue with our program tonight. Before we get going, I want to read a statement from our friends over at Project Relief Maine. They have been doing excellent, necessary, work. And though they could not be here tonight, they are here as co-sponsors and in our hearts. So here's the following as a statement. Over the past few days, ICE has been terrorizing our communities. Parents have been followed and abducted outside their homes, schools, and grocery stores. Families are being torn apart in front of their children. Fear has entered everyday life. On Wednesday, a mother was taken after dropping her children off at school. One of her children watched and said, quote, "I couldn't do anything to help my mom." An 18-year-old man went to buy groceries for his family and was abducted instead of coming home. Children across our communities are scared. Families are afraid to leave their homes. Immigrants are hiding because they are afraid and they will be taken next. We continue to receive videos and photos of ICE terrorizing immigrants. And still, Mainers have responded. Over the past few days, people from across the state, nurses, teachers, parents, students, have shown up to say clearly that this terror is not welcome here. We have shown that we protect our neighbors and stand together when our communities are under attack. At Project Relief Maine, we are on the front lines of doing this important work. We need to support bail people. We need to support people, bail out people to pay for legal services, to deliver groceries, and to care for families whose loved ones have been taken. We need volunteers. We need resources. We need the community to join us. We need your support to stand up against ICE. Visit Project Relief Maine on Instagram, Facebook, or their website to support their work. If you are here and you are 23 years or older, you have already lived in a world where ICE has not existed. ICE does not keep our communities safe. 70% of the people ICE has arrested have no criminal record. 93% of the people arrested by ICE have not been convicted of a violent crime. All of this while ICE operates at 140% of its official capacity, holding people in barbaric, inhumane conditions, often violating people's rights. Another thing to note is the climate of fear ICE creates, which our friends at Project Relief just spoke to. 200 people at Curing High School alone have reportedly skipped school after Maine abducted a mother of 4 after she dropped off her child at school. The Maine Health Center is reporting abnormally high call-outs, with 20 more people than usual calling out. Maine's healthcare infrastructure is already crumbling, and ICE is still legally allowed to use Medicare data to track people. This leaves people avoiding seeking necessary medical care, reporting crimes, attending school, and all other necessary functions of life. We have a right, in fact, we have a moral obligation to say no more. We have seen time and time again that the Trump administration will try to criminalize people exercising their free speech rights. We see the same tactics in the West Bank. ICE, who trains with the IDF, uses systematic violence and intimidation to terrorize communities. But we will not be intimidated, and we will continue to raise our voices until we win justice for Renee Good and end ICE's mass deportations once and for all. We are for liberation, not deportation. Up with liberation! Down with deportation! Up with liberation! Down with deportation! I would now like to introduce our next speaker, Martine Shan, who is a local city leader in Portland, a candidate for the Cumberland County Commissioner for District 5, and an advocate for immigrant communities in Maine. Thank you, Martine.
Good evening, Portland. Good evening, Mainers. I know we're a little cold tonight, but I can tell you're fired up. You're mad as hell. And you're angry that ICE is committing brutality against our neighbors and communities. This week, we've seen ICE agents operating across southern Maine. Families are afraid, businesses are struggling, our streets are less safe. And queer and people of color like myself, immigrant or not, are feeling fear for their lives. And I want to talk to you tonight about what's really happening here and why we need to see through the smoke and mirrors. Because here's the truth. Immigrants are being scapegoated for an economy that's failing working people, and it's a lie we cannot afford to believe. Let's start with what we were promised. The current administration told working class Americans that if we just cracked down on immigration, good jobs would come back, that wages would rise, that housing would be affordable, healthcare costs would drop, that the American dream would be within reach again. But is that where we are? Working families are still struggling to make ends meet. Rent keeps climbing, groceries cost more every week, healthcare is still bankrupting people, and instead of solutions, we're being told the problem is our very own neighbors, the people who work in our restaurants, the people who care for our elderly, the people who pick our crops and pay their taxes. It's easier to point at someone who looks different or speaks a different language than to admit the real failures. It's easier to raid a farm or a restaurant than to hold the powerful accountable. Here's what they don't want you to know. Immigrants don't drain our economy, they sustain it. Immigrants pay nearly $580 billion in taxes every single year. $580 billion. That's more than Trump pays in taxes. They contribute to federal taxes, state taxes, and Social Security. In fact, undocumented immigrants alone contributed $26 billion to Social Security in 2022, despite being unable to receive those benefits themselves. Think about it. They're paying into a system they can't access. They're subsidizing our retirements. And in fact, undocumented immigrants alone, they're subsidizing our retirements while being told they're freeloading. And here in Maine, we have a workforce crisis. Our population is aging, businesses can't find workers. So who's filling the gaps? Immigrants are. They're not taking jobs, they're keeping our economy alive. When ICE sweeps through our communities, what happened? Restaurants close early because staff don't show up, not because they were arrested, but because they're terrified. Construction sites sit empty. Farms can't harvest their crops. The fear alone is costing us. And by the way, they are making lists of observers, of protesters like us, and they're calling us domestic terrorists. This is what democracy looks like. And I think you'll all agree with me. In my view, if you're breaking into cars, if you're breaking into homes and taking a 5-year-old hostage, and you trample on due process, on human rights, on our civil liberties, that sounds more like domestic terrorism to me. None of this is making us safer. This isn't making us more prosperous. This is sabotaging our own economy and calling it policy. Now, J.D. Vance likes to talk about housing, so let me talk about housing for a little bit. Because this is where the scapegoating gets especially cruel. You've heard it. Immigrants are taking up all the housing. That's why you can't afford a home. But here's what's actually happening. While we've been arguing about who deserves housing, private equity firms, massive Wall Street investment companies have been buying up homes and apartment buildings across Maine and across America. They're turning affordable housing into profit machines, jacking up rents and pricing working families out of our own communities. Not immigrants. That's corporate greed that's doing that. The administration wants you angry at the family next door instead of the billionaires making a killing off your struggle to keep a roof over your head. So let's really talk about what's really happening to the economy. This past year, while working families struggled, America's ultra wealthy gained another $1.5 trillion in wealth. Not million, not billion, trillions.
And for what?
While we're told there's no money for childcare, for healthcare, for fixing our roads, somehow there's always money for tax cuts for billionaires and subsidies for corporations. While energy prices squeeze family budgets, oil companies are preparing to profit from stolen Venezuelan oil. And they're going to make a killing out of it. And where are we left? While people work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive, CEOs are making 350 times what the average worker makes. That's real theft. That's the real crisis. So when I see ICE agents in our communities arresting people on their way to work, tearing apart families, terrorizing neighborhoods, I have to ask, why are we going after the wrong people? Why aren't we raiding the boardrooms of companies that exploit workers and dodge taxes? Why aren't we arresting executives who price gouge families on insulin and rent? Why aren't we going after the private equity firms that are literally stealing the American dream? We have a choice to make, Maine. We can keep falling for the scapegoating. We can keep letting fear divide us while the powerful pick our pockets. We can keep blaming our neighbors for problems created by people who've never worked an honest day in their lives, or we can wake up. We can see this campaign of terror for what it is, a distraction, a way to keep us from demanding what we actually deserve: good jobs, affordable housing, health care for all, and dignity. Dignity for immigrants, dignity for queer people, for BIPOC people, for every single Maine and American. We can stand together, native born and immigrant, black and white and brown, and say enough is enough. The wool is being pulled over our eyes, and it's time to see clearly. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Marshall Taylor. So every once in a while, a great old song deserves a rewrite. I think most of you know this song. This land is your land. This land is my land. Guess what? If you're not native, you're immigrated. How about that? What built this nation but immigration? Stand up. Protect democracy. There you go. This land is your land. This land is my land. If you're not native, you're immigrated. What built this nation? Nation, but immigration. Stand up. Stand up. Protect democracy. Let's do that again. This land is your land. This land is mine. If you're not native, if you're not native, you're immigrated. What built this nation? But immigration. Stand up, protect democracy. Down at the job site and in the parking lot, out in the street. Who's next to get shot? Campaigns of terror. We will not tolerate. Stand up, stand up, protect democracy. This land is your land. This land is mine. If you're not native, you're immigrated. What built this nation? What immigration? By immigration. Stand up, protect democracy. The pie is shrinking. It's got me thinking. It can be scary. It's got me wary. Who gets to stay? Who gets deported? Stand up, protect democracy. This land, let's be here. Land is your land. This land. If you're not native, you're immigrated. What built this nation? What built this nation? Our immigration. Stand up, protect democracy. Okay, systems quaking, the system's quaking. A great disruption is in the making. In coalition, we stand together. Stand up, protect democracy. Last time, let us hear you. This land is your land. This land is mine. If you're not native, you're immigrant. What built this nation? What built this nation? By immigration. Stand up, protect democracy. Stand up. Stand up, protect democracy.
also going to keep our program rolling right along here tonight. Introduce, yep. That's people power. All right, we keep the program moving right along. I'm going to hand it off to Omri Rana, an organizer in Bangor and a legislator. Please give it up for Omri.
Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I love to hear it. My name is Maine Rana. My parents are immigrants. My family are immigrants. And I am on this land as a result of displacement, colonization, and resource extraction at the hands of the global north. And I am your community member. And I am a state representative serving in the legislature representing the city of Bangor. In a moment of time where fear fuels horrific events of hatred and violence, both at home and abroad, I want to extend so much appreciation to everyone who is out here in the cold today, openly sharing their grief and their rage in this showing of collective outrage. Our communities are being ripped apart as ICE expands its enforcement unchecked, disappearing families that have been here for years, decades, and generations. ICE has never performed as a protection that it claims to be. ICE has always been a force of occupation. The violence that is perpetuated by the system is not by accident. It is not a series of mistakes made by ill-trained rookies. Violence is exactly what the system is meant to perform. ICE is the enforcement arm of a federal government that is working to revoke citizenship and take away the rights of any community member, whether they're naturalized, a birthright citizen, or without documentation. This is the cause of mass destabilization in our communities. No one of us is safe, documented or not. The state-sanctioned violence and terror is not just a result of the Trump administration or our Republican counterparts. It is a product of American imperialism. It is a product of American imperialism that is woven into the fabric of this country. ICE has always been violent from its inception just 23 years ago, and it is clear today that every elected official is complicit in the actions of ICE. Every elected official is complicit, and they must be held accountable, they must be pushed, they must be swayed, and brought along in this movement. Okay, I'm gonna get into some technical stuff now. Earlier this year, we passed LD 1971. I know many of you know about this bill. The legislature worked hard. It only passed by one vote back in June, and that's when it should have gone into law. This bill would outline and restrict how state agencies are to interact with ICE. The governor sat on that bill for over 6 months. She sat on that bill for over 6 months before deciding to allow it to go into law just a few weeks ago. And that delay means that it won't be implemented until the summer of 2026. Implementation that was delayed by a year. Over a year ago, we asked her and her staff to rescind a racist and harmful executive order that was put in place by our former governor, Governor LePage. We asked again in February, We asked again in March, and so on. Action was delayed over and over again because of fear of federal government retaliation. Meanwhile, the terror that immigrants in our community face day to day in Maine was left completely ignored. Let me pause to make something clear. ICE has been here.
Right.
This surge is amplified, but it is nothing new. Governor Mills could have rescinded that executive order 7 years ago, and it was only because of the pressure that you all put on. The pressure that you put on is why he finally yielded, rescinded that executive order, and allowed this bill to go into law. You made the change possible by calling, emailing, showing up, testifying, and being absolutely relentless. This win is your win. This win is your win, and it is fueled by the love that you have for your community members, your immigrant community members, and everyone in your community. And I want you to remember that this win is your win. I want you to remember that when don't let any legislator take credit for the work that you did. It is your house. That state house is your house. The same goes for your city council. The same goes for your county commissioner meetings. Right? With these shifts and these changes, the fight is far from over. Next week, there's a public hearing. Take note. LD 2106 on Thursday. This bill will create protections from ICE in schools, hospitals, and daycares, and libraries. We need you to show up on Thursday and make it so clear that you want ICE out of your communities. Earlier this week, we saw over 150 Mainers show up to make their voices heard on LD 1383, a bill to divest state worker pensions from companies that profit off of genocide, ICE detention, and weapons manufacturing. A vital bill as we witness our governments, local and statewide, using the incarceration of our community members to fill their budget gaps. They're filling their budget gaps under the guise of financial stability on the demise of our community members. Immigration enforcement and the very profitable prison industrial complex are fully intertwined.
Right.
The powers that enable mass incarceration are those that enable mass deportation and mass detention. Divestment is a huge piece of this puzzle, and we must make it so clear to our elected officials that we want them to stand with us, not profit off of our demise. I encourage you to email your legislators and make it heard that you want that bill to go through and that you do not want this to happen on your dime.
Right.
Speaking of your money, the governor is currently constructing her supplemental budget, and this is the time for you to make it known how you want your money to be spent. Every day that we delay enacting laws, families are separated, community members are torn away, and lives are taken. Every day that we delay, we erode the rights to due process that this country claims its foundation on. ICE's actions have shown that they are entirely disregarding the law. They are terrorizing Mainers using violence, racial profiling, and privacy-violating surveillance technology. We must dismantle and defund these oppressive systems that lack humanity, transparency, and accountability. And let me be clear, we cannot just legislate these problems away.
Right.
ICE is beyond reform.
Right.
We must end the disappearing, the kidnapping, the detainment. We must abolish ICE. While the federal government is actively defunding programs that keep our neighbors housed, fed, and healthy, they are funneling billions of dollars into ICE. Therefore, it is vital that we invest in community care, mutual aid networks that are helping our neighbors. We must ensure that our immigrant community members know that we stand fully by their side and will not tolerate unlawful and harmful acts against them. I know you all know this. That's exactly why you're here. Start small, talk to your neighbors, get to know them, share meals together. Community is what's going to get us through this moment. The systems that we create are the ones that will sustain us into the future. It is so important that we invest in and donate to existing statewide networks like the Maine Solidarity Fund and find and support informal networks in your smaller communities. Let your rage that you're feeling, let that rage fuel your power. Allow your grief to drive your hope. Remain hopeful, be absolutely relentless against these oppressive and violent institutions, and keep fighting. Thank you.
I stand Maine! 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 Folks, tonight is all about reminding everyone, our government officials, our corporate oligarchs, the people at ICE, and everyone that has been made afraid by ICE, exactly who it is that these streets belong to. Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! We're going to go ahead and make a pretty large statement in that regard here for the meeting just a couple of minutes. But before we do that, I have one last speaker here for you tonight who's going to rally you up. It is my great pleasure and honor to introduce you to Lakota from the Party for Socialism and Liberation.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? My name is Lakota Sanborn. I'm a Penobscot organizer and a member of the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Minneapolis is leading the nation in the fight against ICE and has called for a general strike. We're all here in solidarity with their fight as Maine has become the next target of ICE. I want you to take a moment to look around you. Look at the faces that fill this space. The faces of courage, of resilience, of unwavering commitment to justice. We are here tonight, not just as individuals. We are here as a collective force, echoing the cries for justice across the country. Trump's regime is waging a war of terror on immigrant communities. Mass agents in unmarked cars are kidnapping our friends, our family, and our co-workers. The brutal war on immigrant families this administration is waging isn't in the shadows, it is on our streets. It is open, defiant, and unlawful. We are witnessing military-style assaults on workplaces, schools, hospitals, and in crowded public settings when they snatch parents from their children and workers from their livelihoods. Fuck ICE. The Trump administration wants to steal our hope, to make us feel powerless in the face of their war on working people and the terror that ICE is bringing into our communities. They want us to believe that immigrants are the enemy. That is a damn lie. Our real enemy is the billionaire class stealing our health care, the politicians starving our children by slashing food stamps, the corporate vultures gutting pensions and smashing unions. So many here who have fled their homeland seeking refuge and asylum in the United States come here due to America's involvement in regime change and colonial resource extraction in their homeland. The U.S. continues to fund paramilitary criminal organizations and undermines democracies with coups d'etats, like we saw in Venezuela with the arresting and kidnapping of Nicolas Maduro. The ruling class of the United States are looting the world while cutting support that struggling families need here. They are escalating their war on immigrants to divide us. Their racist scapegoating is an obvious tactic to make us blame each other while they rob us blind, but we see through that game. Maine Congressman Jared Golden just yesterday voted to increase ICE funding. Last night, 70% of House Democrats voted to approve Trump's $1 trillion military budget. All the while, they tell us there's not enough money for universal health care, to increase funding for education, to increase affordable housing. The Democratic Party has shown that they are not the opposition to fascism in our streets or imperialism abroad. We must build a mass socialist movement to ensure that all people, regardless of immigration status, have all of the things that they need to thrive in our state, in our country, and around the world. We've seen in Minneapolis how community response in mass mobilization like this tonight is essential to fight back against ICE invasion. We must remain committed, steadfast, and ready to respond in real time. It is crucial that we meet this terrorism with organization. We need to step up to protect our neighbors and our families. We cannot be frozen in fear. We cannot let them steal our hope. We must continue to show up and turn out in numbers to run these masked cowards out of Wabanaki territory. No justice, no peace. I saw First Street. I saw First Street. No justice, no peace. 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 I saw First Street.
Folks, I don't know if you noticed, but there's over 1,000 people here tonight. And we'll have an opportunity to take this crowd and remind this city exactly who these streets belong to. So we are going to do a march tonight, folks. And before we do that, I really need you to listen to me a little closely, because as with all great things in our battle, we have to be organized. But before I do that, I want to remind you all that tomorrow at noon at Kennedy Park in Lewiston, there's going to be another rally demanding the same things we've been demanding here tonight, showing up to support a community which has been absolutely under attack throughout this whole Trump regime. So I hope to see you there tomorrow. How do we get up there? Momentum, right? All right, folks, I'm going to hand it off to my comrade here, Willie, from the Party for Socialist Liberation. He's going to guide us through. Good evening, everybody. People. Okay, so we are going to take the streets. And we are going to take our time. What we are going to do is we are going to take the right side of this thing, heading up along through the square. When we hang out there, when we turn around, taking the right side. There are many marshals in this crowd. They're best.
So I'm not wearing that. And the first thing that we're going to have for school is I need everyone on this side to start moving in a circle around the monument and clearing the street and the sidewalk because we need to walk the road over there. And the march is going to leave from this point. So, everyone in the direction of the library, start moving to your left, my right, around the monument, and the rest of the crowd. And then, we need the two young ladies with their cell phone. Stand right here. And Dad, you got the PSL flag? Okay. So you guys see these leaders right here? We are going to line up behind them. So they're taking on the social and things. About 8 deep. Okay? 8 people deep. Maybe 10. Very few. Not too many, okay?
It's 1,000 people, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely at least 600 or 700. I'm not convinced. Might be a thousand. What do you guys think? I guess I can't see your comments, so I can't really talk to you. I'm curious how many people you guys think are here.
My camera card's full. I'm so mad. My card's full. Oh, I should have leave them so much for the crosswalk. Who's that really trying? Italian. They might as well, since traffic.
That's good stuff. You can see traffic's backed up all the nice shit. You want some help? Are you trying to get up here? Come over this way. Come over here. Yeah, I'll grab your hand. I had help. Here.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
Ryan. What's your name? What'd you say?
I said Chase, but
Oh.
yeah, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet Shane.
Shane? That cleared out fast.
The cold got me walking into a violent.
It's all walking like. This is the. I just got these new boots. This is the first night I've felt cold toes. They're really, really warm boots, but tonight is testing us. Hey, but I'm gonna cheat and use the bus. I got a maxed out pass, so it's free. Take care, Shane. Good to meet you. Instagram, I'm rarely serious. I'm actually streaming on YouTube right now, which is Meet the People. Just find me on Facebook. I'm Ryan Teasman. Yeah, what are they doing in the street? Just get up and see me. That ain't cool. I'm gonna dig it trying to get down there. There's too many people. Why are these people walking the street? There's a sidewalk right there. Whoa! Gee, hey, wait. Hey, Officer Calloway, you're doing a hell of a job. Whoa! Hurry the fuck up. Oh, shoot. I did not realize my phone was going. So those of you on YouTube, my top phone just shut off due to the cold. So that's how cold it is, guys. Oh my God, this is, my fingers are falling off. But look, guys, watch. Oh, it was giving me some crazy error message. Yeah, see? Oh, that's not good. So I don't know how long this is going to last down here. I'm going to move you guys to the top. Bear with me. I don't think you're going to last long because it's so freaking cold. Shit. Yeah. 130 people watching on X. My phone just died from freezing. It's not even dead on the battery. It is so fucking good. Having fun yet? I just got these new boots. This is the first night that my toes have been tested. Like, my toes are getting cold.
Oh, I'm 3 layers deep. I'm testing.
I got 3 layers of pants on. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Take care. I was streaming on 2 phones. My other phone has plenty of battery, but it died just from cold.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's gonna happen with this one shortly.
I had to plug my camera back in.
Yeah. Be safe. Get a sidewalk. Don't move the road. Thanks. I wish I could change the orientation, but I can't in the middle, can I? Yeah, that sucks. Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust this very far. One of my phones died just from the cold. That's how crazy it is.
No justice!
They didn't do what they said they were gonna do. How's the deal on next? Sorry, my phone died because of the cold. I didn't even lose battery. It just died because of the cold. Okay, sorry, but I'm holding on the bus. I'm done with this. How you doing? Two neighbors and one. I'm getting on. I wasn't gonna, but my fingers are falling off. So, that was short, wasn't it? Sorry. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Please follow me. I'll be covering more this weekend.